So I kind of got fired from academia this week. But to understand what happened to me, you have to understand what the reality is for most college level educators at this point. Of course, the stereotype is the cushy college professor teaching a couple of classes whenever they want to, on whatever they want to, spending their days writing and having summers off to spend at the lake house, all the while taking home a six-figure income and being basically unfireable because of tenure. That just isn't reality for really anyone, and definitely not the majority of college level educators. Even the cushiest of those professors are doing a ton of unpaid service and publication labor. They're spending their spare time in the hellish rat race that is publish or perish, and many are having to secure grants, which now basically don't exist, in order to keep their departments open at all. Liberal arts departments are largely on the chopping block these days as greedy administrators continue to enrich themselves, and tenure is somehow both largely unattainable and basically a joke when admins can just shutter your entire department or just fire you for no good reason at all. Like what recently happened to my good friend James Boley by the tyrannical cowards at Millsaps College. Oh, yeah, Millsaps, don't you think I've forgotten about you? Also, our anti enrollment campaign, it isn't a bluff, and you can believe that. But the truth is that most actual university level work, educational work that is being done by PhD students and contract to contract teachers hired at poverty wages, given little to no benefits, and expected to have highly specialized knowledge and to pass that on to students. Oh, and when those PhD students get those PhDs, there are basically no jobs for them at all. The job market of academia functions like a pyramid scheme and a cartel at the same time. So that brings me to, well, me. I've been teaching at Wayne State University here in Detroit for about a decade now, and I love teaching there. Many of my students come from working class origins, many are first generation college students, and the school is just amazingly diverse. I like teaching those students because they remind me of me. I come from the working class and I was a first generation college student when I was just starting out, and I want nothing more than for their first philosophy or religious studies class to be an absolutely wonderful experience. And I've gotten great reviews from students. I've even won teaching awards, and I've had nothing but fantastic relationships with my chair and with my colleagues. They're just absolutely fine folks over there. But like usual, I signed my contract to teach in the fall. Yep, it's contract to contract, so there's no real job security either. Only get an email from my chair a few weeks later letting me know that the provost was just making the college cut a huge portion of classes because students having less classes to take is why they come to college. And yep, my class was on the chopping block. It was being axed, despite the fact that the university had actually signed a contract with me for me to teach it. But what do contracts mean anyway? They're not legally binding or anything. Now, to my chair's credit, he offered me another class, an online section, but those were sections I'd actually never taught before. They were classes I'd never taught before, and that would have basically required me to drop everything I was otherwise working on, learn all of that material, and literally build a whole new class from the ground up in less than a month. Something that I just couldn't do, and honestly not really a reasonable expectation to have of someone, but I get it. He was just doing his best to at least get me a class, and I really, really appreciate that. So after teaching at Wayne State University for more than a decade, I won't be teaching this fall, and seemingly I won't be teaching there for the foreseeable future. And despite a decade of service to the university, I had to put in a special request just to keep my .edu address for a little while so I could continue to access online journals and things like that. It's disappointing to me, to be honest, and I really just feel terrible for the students who've just had classes they signed up for randomly canceled a month before the semester starts. Not that, they have lives or anything they need to plan for, but I'm very lucky. I've built up Esoterica, and losing my teaching position isn't a do or die impact on my finances. Of course, that's definitely not true for the vast majority of contract to contract teachers who basically live paycheck to paycheck, some of which even live in their cars. I mostly teach, frankly, because I love it. I love my students, and I feel a sense of civic responsibility to teach. Honestly, I'd probably just do it for free if I didn't have to do any grading. They pay me to grade, not to teach, honestly. But in the end, academia just didn't see fit for me to teach on the topics I have expertise in, or at this point, really anything at all. But I'm blessed to have this platform, YouTube, at least for now, until the algorithm does whatever it does, where I can teach topics I care about with all the rigor and dedication that you all deserve. Of course, that's thanks to all of you, folks that support me over on my Patreon. I'll buy merch or cool rare books or just engage with the content here. Western esotericism is something I care deeply, deeply about. And I'm really happy that I get to share some of that education with all of you. That said, I'm starting an entire seminar this Sunday on Merkava mysticism, where ancient Judean mystics descended into the divine throne room to learn occult secrets or even be transformed into angels. But because of my commitment to accessible education and because of the supporters of folks on the channel, like my wonderful Patreon supporters, I'm going to make that seminar completely open access starting next week as I work through the material. Education is just a human right to my mind, and it's not for me to gatekeep that wisdom. But if you do want to support what I do here on the channel, I would hope that you consider by joining my Patreon or pick up some merch or something. You can find those links down below, and I'm really just grateful for your consideration. Also, if you are a student at the university this semester, just know that many of your professors are teaching because they love what they do. They love you as students. And the work that most of them do is actually horribly underpaid with no benefits and a precarious job to boot. And for all those PhD students and contract to contract teachers out there, I just want to honor the work that you all do and express my own solidarity with you. And finally, I want to express my sincere gratitude to all of you for supporting me to do what means so much to me. To spread freely accessible education on this small corner of human wisdom and spirituality. So I'll hopefully see many of you for the upcoming seminar on Merkava mysticism starting this Sunday. And of course, there's going to be much more esoterica content to come. Until then, I'm Dr. Justin Sledge, and thank you for watching Esoterica, where we explore the arcane in history, philosophy, and religion.